Good morning, everyone. It is Thursday, September 2nd, Throat Punch Thursday. We're waiting on initial claims here this morning as they come out every Thursday. Tomorrow's the monthly job report. We head into a 3-day weekend. We are closed on Monday. Yay! All right, and just a quick reminder, on Tuesday, I will not be here. We have court that day, so I will be out. I never really know how long it's going to take, but I have 2 cases to be there for on Tuesday, so definitely all morning I will be out, and hopefully get back before power hour. It's kind of what I'm planning on. Okay, so let's take a look here. You can see that we continue the creep. We are moving up here this morning. Our Dow is up 64, the S&P's up just shy of 10, the Nasdaq's up 44, and the Russell is up 6 points. So green across the board, although mild green, still green. And you can see here on the SPY futures, we came up and we're just kind of sidestepping a little bit here, taking a little break. You know, when you climb a mountain, sometimes you just have to stop and enjoy the view for a little bit, and it looks like that's what the SPY is doing here. With the jobs report, the labor report rather, tomorrow, I think that will be definitely a market mover. Although I think the next month's report will actually be a lot more important. Okay, so anyway, this is what the S&P is doing. Taking a look at Bitcoin, up above that trend line. Finally, we took a nice little move in the overnight hour. So some trades to look at today are going to be based on Bitcoin. Love the look in Mara, even though Bitcoin itself had kind of pulled back. Mara stayed quite strong here. So for Mara, going to be taking a look at these. I'm looking at the October 44s. I'm also going to take a look at coin, some Ethereum. I'm going to look at all of these and still kind of just, GBTC is another one. So Ethereum and GBTC, those are actually ETFs, so they trade a little bit differently. But looking for this pattern here on GBTC to break, and it should break just in tandem with the actual Bitcoin chart. So going to take a look at those, but Mara, definitely for some options. I like the 10, 15, 44. All right, some charts that we went through yesterday. That's funny. I actually didn't even go back and look at Alcoa. I'll have to do that. But Fastly's been pretty beaten up here for a while. It's been under the 200 for more than 6 months. But looks like maybe it found a base here. We touched the same point back here. We played with it here. After earnings, we took quite a dip, but fought all the way back up into this same area, this trading channel. And now we finally broke out of it over this 44.60 area. We do have some room to the 50. I am a little concerned about the 50. We tend to kind of pause there. And you can see that that was a struggle here in the most recent attempt to make a move up. Overall, though, I think our trend has finally started to change here. That was a terrible trend line, but you kind of get the point. I guess it's all right. Kind of get the point here that we've actually started to make this move. Looking for a little bit smaller position size in this until it breaks through that 50, but I like the Fastly 10, 15, 45s. Hard to find charts that aren't just looking more like this, where they're just breaking out. Net, though, had beautiful move yesterday. So, you know, these charts have really, they've just climbed, took a little break, but then came roaring back in with this bullish engulfing candle here and looking for just a continued breakout on this. Now, with these, you need to make sure that your stop is set pretty tight, because what can happen is it'll just sit and kind of churn in here with options. We know that that is a terrible place to be, but net nonetheless looking good. Now these I could only find some out in November, the 11, 17, 135. I would also look into some other areas in that space, maybe like Crowd, Okta. I think they had just reported, so some of those might be some good alternatives. Taiwan Semiconductor. So semiconductors, AMD, we've seen, you get in and it just kind of, I don't know, it's like an ice cream cone on a hot day. Just as soon as you get in, it looks all pretty, and then all of a sudden it looks like, wow, now I've just got a mess everywhere, and my hands are all sticky, and I didn't even get to eat the ice cream cone. Yeah, that's what it kind of feels like. Taiwan Semiconductors, though, making a pretty good, pretty orderly move. Now, they do have a lot of wicks and tails, which means not a lot of decision, because we keep ending up back where we started. But really looking for this trend to now change. Now, one thing I do see in this is that potentially this may take another dip and become an inverted head and shoulders. Now, I know you're not supposed to really call these out when they look like that. Just like immediately looking at it, that's kind of what I see. So we'll watch a little bit more cautiously for this one, but I think as far as the semiconductors go, TSM is a pretty good one. It's been stuck in a channel for a really long time, so we're looking for a break out of that. On TSM, I'm looking at the 10-15 125s. All right, completely changing sectors. Let's take a look at Kimberly Clark. Big move, looking for a breakout of this level. Came up, hit the fib line perfectly. Lots of room to the most recent high. And paper products, right? Not like we had last year when we needed lots of paper products because everybody was hoarding their toilet paper for no good reason. But nonetheless, we still use lots of paper products. Kimberly Clark here, I'm looking at the 140s, the 10-15 140s. Upstart's one that we've kind of peeked in and out at lately. It's a kind of a funky chart. It was on yesterday. We took a look at it with this bullish, yesterday we looked at it for the bullish engulfing that occurred on Wednesday. We just sat right inside the top part of this candle, so I really like that look when they do that, and they hold near the high of that bullish candle. Looking for a breakout in Upstart, and I like the 10-15 240s. DraftKings and Penn, both of these charts, we keep looking back at these. DraftKings, I love this level that's in here. We keep hitting it. I think once we finally break and hold above that, lots of really good room in this chart. We're going to clear out a lot of the volume profile. And DraftKings, Penn, these stocks they've just been really moving well. They've caught a lot of attention, so playing a little bit of momentum as well. The 10-15 65s, or come over here and take a look at Penn. Penn's below the 200, so a little bit more iffy to me until we get to that 200. But a play up to that 200 is certainly a valid idea. Remember, when we get to that 200, getting through it is it's just a hard one to get through. You can see back here we failed on 3 touches, but nonetheless, a really nice little flagpole, little flag or channel forming here. Anything over the 84.30. And I like the Penn 10-15 85s. All right, well, these two we talk about all the time. Snow ended up coming right back into this trend line yesterday, looking for a reversal back up in snow, but probably more for a day trade until we start actually holding the candle tops better. But looking at the 310 strike here in October. Run. Some of the solars may be worth looking at. They've been pretty beaten up as well. But Run took a nice little, it came up on the over 20 scan. We peeked at it a little bit yesterday, but coming back in, taking another look at it, see if we get an overall trend change. Just kind of keep this one out on your watch. Costco, well, apparently we're all still spending our money. We have 3 candles here that came up to about the same level at that 457. Yeah, 457. Looking for a move above 457 to test 460 and continue on. We're all spending our money at Costco. I know I am. And I'm watching the 460s. It will be the 10-15 460s. And lastly, got into Apple yesterday. Cursed the heck out of it because it was, oh man, this chart just kind of ticked me off. Here we go. Look at this. It was holding. It was hanging on well. And apparently it lost its mojo. Then after hours, interestingly enough, when I was making my videos last night, I looked at, we've got the Apple creep coming right back up. So I did sell half of my position. I will be looking to add that back this morning, that half position back if it continues on. Now, I'm not going to add it back right away because looking at yesterday's chart, you can see we kind of made that big move, and then that was it. That was the high. So I'm going to let the charts, I promise I'm going to let the charts set in on Apple for a good half an hour before I make that decision. Now, yesterday, that was my plan as well, to add back the half position I'd held from that night, the night before. But it honestly, it just was up over 20%. And I just couldn't say no. So I went ahead and took that, got back in, and well, that taught me. But some others that we'll be watching for day trades. Roku, finally doing a thing. It's settled there right at the 200, so like it for the move and hold over the 200. This one, you know, yesterday, a couple people, last couple of days, people were talking about it. I'm like, hey, it just doesn't look like it's doing anything. Well, look at that. Proved me wrong. It was alerted in the room. Our attention was brought right back around to it, and just a fantastic look. And I don't know what else I can say other than wow on Netflix. That's it, just wow. So we're looking for, this trend line has been in here since back in March. And check it out. Went right through it, came right back, settled on it, looking for a move here. What is it doing this morning? It's down at 3. Sorry. It's down at 3, at 580 right now. Just one tick. We'll see if that comes right back up to the 585. That looks kind of like a funky, yeah, I don't know what's going on with that. We're sitting at 585 here, so we'll take a look for a day trade in Netflix. And then yesterday, I did exit PLTR pretty much flat, but it is now this, I don't know. I think this stock hates me because I feel like every time I get in, it just then kind of stalls out on me. But PLTR is certainly a good one to look at here over this trend line. We'll come back to it. Right now, I'm feeling a little burned by it, but that's okay. All right, that is it for me this morning. I hope you have a fantastic day. Sorry for all the doggy noise. That's what happens when you have 3 dogs in the house. All right, I will see you soon. If you have any questions, reach out, Heather C. at givingtreetrading.com.